I never want to see Carl Walker or Kieran Trippier play football ever again. And I'm so serious when I say that. Like, I actually think Carl Walker and Kieran Trippier are the two worst football players I've ever seen play. And I've seen clips of myself play football. I'm better than Kieran Trippier and I'm better than Carl Walker. Like, I'm being so serious when I say that. Bro, like, it's not even agenda at this point. Like, you can all be like, oh, Nathan, you have a clear agenda against Kyle Walker, but like, it's not even that at this point. He actually is just garbage. He just is terrible. Trippier's just as bad. Trippier might even be worse, because at least Walker attempts to go forward. We all saw that pathetic attempt at goal that Trippier had. Disgraceful. Trippier, the reason he gets booked. Let's look at Kyle Walker's positioning for the goal we conceded yesterday. Let's just have a look at that. Don't even get me started on what Walker and Stones did, which led to them almost scoring from the halfway line to make it 2-0 and having England dead and bad. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke. And then Bellingham and Kane step up and score important goals and get to be the hero after playing dross for 90 minutes. But that's not even an issue, because any one of those players that started the game, Foden, Saka, Bellingham, Kane, Rice, actually except Mainu, right? I'd probably say except Mainu, right? Any of those starters, right, score a goal, and they've stunk it up for upwards of 90 minutes and saved themselves with a goal, because they were all terrible. None of them deserve to be the hero. None of those stars deserve to be the hero. I would have accepted a winner from Eze, Palmer, Tony, Gallagher, or Konza. I would have accepted a winner from any of those players. But those starters, none of them deserved a goal. All of them deserve to be out of the Euros. I'm so serious when I say that. Kane drops one of the most shameless and spineless captain performances up front, missing two absolute sitters. Saka played 3 different positions yesterday because Southgate is tactically inept and is listening to what ex-pros are saying he should do, instead of using his knowledge as a manager, all the stuff he learned while getting his coaching badges, all of his experience from managing major tournaments. No, he's listening to Ian Wright, who, for all I know, hasn't managed a game of football in his life. Like, you know what I mean? It's actually a disgrace. It is a disgrace. And I mean, like, it's hard for me to come on here, and it sounds so ungrateful and sounds like yeah, it does sound ungrateful for me to come on here after a win to take England to the quarterfinals of the Euros and sit there and just slander the team and say they don't deserve to be there. But I can't, like, come here and say that they were good, because they were terrible. They were terrible, and things need to change, because they were lifeless for 90 minutes. They were pathetic. Kane was pathetic in front of goal. Trippier and Walker, like I said, pathetic at fullbacks. Saka, Foden, and Bellingham all had moments. Yes, they all had moments where Saka would get the better of his fullback and be able to get a cross in. Foden had a few good deliveries from crosses, and obviously was offside for the goal that he scored. And Bellingham obviously scored his goal. But outside of just those little moments, they were terrible. And yes, it is big moments that win you football games, like Bellingham's goal. But you can't just rely on those moments. At some point, we have to take initiative and actually just take control of a game and win 2-0 and win a comfortable game. Not every game has to be a struggle. England's last 3 knockout games at the Euros have all went to extra time. All of them. All of the last 3. One of them went to penalties, and we saw how that ended. It is pathetic. It's so pathetic. And I kind of wish Bellingham and Kane didn't score yesterday, because then he would have been out of a job. And he deserves that. He doesn't deserve that for, like I said in my last video, he doesn't deserve that for World Cup 2018 or Euro 2020. But the 2022 World Cup and the 2024 Euros, he 100% deserves to lose his job. You have some of the best players in the world, like actual world class players. This isn't Euro 2016 squad. This isn't the World Cup 2018 squad. These are world beaters in the squad. These are players that perform on the biggest stage week in, week out. This isn't Adam Lallana, Fabian Delph, like a finished Wayne Rooney. This isn't those players. This is Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice. Like, so why are we struggling to beat teams that are terrible? Like, not in any of these games that I've watched England play, Serbia, Slovenia, Slovakia, Denmark, none of those opponents have played football. None of them. Serbia just played 90 minutes of bully ball and England struggled. Denmark, actually no, Denmark played some okay football, but again, it shouldn't have been that hard for England. 0-0 draw in the final group game was spineless, was so spineless, especially when we had to rely on Serbia and Denmark to draw 0-0 just to get on the easier side of the draw. And then when we get to the easier side of the draw, we're this close to being knocked out in the first game in an utterly embarrassing manner. And people are meant to be happy with that because we've advanced. And I think the way I see it, the way I see this as well, is people are like, oh, you should be grateful because he's got you to these finals and he's won more knockout games than all the last managers combined. I'm like, yeah, okay. He did that in the past. The present isn't good enough. Wenger at Arsenal, everything he did in the past didn't justify him staying in the job for as long as he did and reaching the lows that he did. David Moyes winning West Ham a European trophy and then playing some of the most utterly disgraceful football of all time and looking absolutely spineless towards the end of last season. That European trophy doesn't mean that he should be in that job anymore. Like, you can't, no manager should be unsackable based on past achievements. If City were to go and finish 10th place next season with no trophies, not even reaching a quarter final of a cup and finishing 10th place, Pep Guardiola's a treble winning manager who won Premier League 4 years in a row. He wouldn't be beyond the sack, would he? He would have to go because it's unacceptable. If Southgate wants to set these high standards of him reaching a World Cup semi-final and a Euros final, if he wants to set those standards and be held to those standards, then he needs to perform to those standards. I don't, like, you know what I mean? Just because he's done well in the past doesn't excuse him from underperforming in the present. His game plan works very, very well with those mediocre players that we had in World Cup 2018. A mediocre squad, a squad of players that aren't exactly the best in their position, best in the world. It doesn't work with when you've got individuals that want to make things happen. Foden, Bellingham, Saka all want to make things happen. But they have to play so conservative because no one else is brave enough to make that run. Kane's never in the middle of the box. Trippier doesn't know how to pass forward. Kyle Walker doesn't know how to look over his shoulder and check his mirrors. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is, and this is why the thumbnail says The Great Escape, because it was a great escape. Because that was embarrassing. I didn't celebrate either of those goals going in, and I did not celebrate when that full-time whistle was over. I let out a sigh of relief and I moved on with my day because that was actually disgusting. And I think the thing that upsets me the most about all of this is, once this tournament is over, I have to then go and watch Kyle Walker play another season worth of football. And I actually don't know if I could be asked. Because he's terrible. All the players on the pitch are terrible. As it stands right now, England don't have any world-class players. None of those players are world-class. Yes, you could say Jude might be world class because he's pulled a bicycle kick out of his ass in the final minute of the game, but I prefer to see it on the whole game basis. I would not respect any, and people might say I've got an agenda against Jude after I called him overrated a few weeks ago, but if any of those players, even if my boy Phil scored that goal, I'm moving on with my day because it was terrible. It shouldn't have got to that point. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make. It should not have got to the point where Jude had to score that goal. So again, this hasn't been a very well scripted video. It's just really been a rant because it was shocking. And I don't think I could sit down and literally think out a cohesive script and points. I tried to record this video last night and it just didn't. I just got too heated because it was a crime against football what I watched yesterday. It was a crime against my eyes. I would have rather have been blind than watch that game of football. It was terrible. And Switzerland are actually a good team, so Saturday could get messy if we don't buck up our ideas. But we're not going to, are we? Because like I've been saying this whole time, why are we playing two non-natural left-sided players out on the left? So what's Southgate's solution to that? When the right back we're playing left back gets injured? Oh yeah, let's shove a right winger in left back. I can't be asked, man. You know what I mean? I actually can't be asked. What? Guehi's suspended for the next game. We're just gonna Bellingham's tool. We're gonna shove Bellingham at centre back. Do you know what I mean? It's pathetic, and I don't really have much hope for Saturday. Again, I'd like to be proven wrong, but I don't think I'm being proven wrong at this point. It's beyond embarrassing, and I think it's beyond fixable because it is that bad. It really is that bad. But let me know your thoughts on the game down below. I can't imagine any of you have anything positive to say because I don't. Nobody I know does. It's just one of those things. So yeah, let me know down below. Follow me on Twitter at obviously Nathaniel Knows Ball if you want to see my live reaction to these games because I get pretty heated over there as well. Obviously subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed. Check out the rest of the videos on the channel. They're a bit more cohesive than this one. It's not just me getting frustrated at the camera for 13-14 minutes. They're a lot better laid out than this. But yeah, obviously subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, comment your thoughts down below. I've been Nathan. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Shut down cases, they belly dots to the can't see faces. Chasing the bad guy chase it. You don't wanna be the one like Ace and like GTA trying to turn them out wasted. Aye, tell a bad bitch come break it. Body come mad, come shake it. Shit then, get back to the basics. Bro, done shut down cases. They belly dots to the